jobs available, and things are happening in that regard. So people are better able to get some work. What we see is that, again, the folks we serve, they're on the bottom end of the scale, and even with a full-time job, if it's minimum wage, they're still struggling to make ends meet, and so we still see some of those folks coming in for food and help paying their energy bills and so on. So it's a mixed bag. Definitely it's improving, and that is helpful. But we've got this persistent poverty here in Lane County. It's around 20% is our poverty rate, and it's even higher here in the metro area. So that's it's kind of structural, and it's really, really challenging for people.
Where are you from?
I am originally from Kansas in the Midwest, but I've been here. It'll be 5 years this summer, so I'm getting to the point where I don't even mind when it rains all the time and it's cloudy, and I'm adjusted.
It brings us into a melancholic state where you just kind of accept it.
Oh, no, if you've actually if you grow up in Oregon, it's not melancholy. You look forward to this.
If you grew up in Oregon, which he didn't.
I've noticed that, yeah.
Which he didn't.
We like the rain. I love the rain.
I love the rain too.
What's funny to me is that people get nervous when it doesn't rain. They really kind of get
Yeah, that's
when
we start
fidgety.
getting depressed. It's just like
It's too bright.
This is not right. This is not right. It's not good.
What got you? I mean, you could have done
angry.
anything, got in any direction, any path. What kind of got you in this mode to help
this
people?
kind of work? I've done it all my life. I mean, for some reason, when I was growing up, the idea of helping people in need kind of clicked in. I'm a Catholic, and I was raised in that faith, and for some reason, I took it seriously that we were supposed to, love I wasn't quite to Africa when I got out of college and spent several years with Catholic Relief Services. And then I've worked in nonprofit organizations all my life, and have been fortunate to be able to do that and to make a modest living helping other people, which is a wonderful thing. But it comes for me from within. It's just so great to be able to do something that I think is good and is helpful, and yeah. I mean,
how did that change your life in Africa?
I'm sorry?
Did it at all?
Well, yeah, it did.
Your perspective?
It was like it really just cemented, I think, those inclinations, and made me realize that this was what I wanted to do, was work in a way to help people in need. I don't know. It wasn't anything I got at home. I have just kind of normal family members who didn't do this kind of thing, but.
What part of Africa?
I was in Gambia in West Africa for 3.5 years, and then in Burundi in East Africa for a year. So anyway, but that was when Jimmy Carter was president. So this is a different era, a different lifetime. But
I was going to say earlier that that not only did you go through all that, but you survived the Jesuit.
That's right.
Did you end up at a Jesuit school at one point or another?
No, I was in a Benedictine school, not a Jesuit school. So.
The are rigorous.
Yes, they are. They are rigorous, but a little pain and suffering. That's what we're taught is good for us. Forms us and shapes us in the right direction. So.
Tom Mulhern, who's the executive director with the Catholic Community Services, in studio. So let's talk about the fundraising. How do you guys?
Yes.
How do you fund all this?
Okay, well, we got a particular fundraiser today, which is why you were so kind enough to let me come in today. Over at Carl's Jr. In Gateway, the fast food place in Gateway near Gateway Mall. All day today, they're giving us 100% of all sales, which is just a remarkable thing for any company to do, and particularly a national franchise. So you go in and buy breakfast and spend $7.15, they're going to give us $7.15.
Is that at all the Carl's Jr.'s in the area?
No, just at the Gateway location. They've designated that location as the place, so you got to go to that place to make this happen. But it's all day. You don't have to have a coupon. You don't even have to know what's happening. Just wanders in there today and buys a meal is going to be helping Catholic Community Services help people in this community.
So if you're going to do any aimless wandering,
if you're going to do
make sure you do it at their Gateway near Carl's Jr.
Get a lucky star or two.
Yeah. Definitely.
That is pretty huge.
It's remarkable. I mean, and this is the third time that they've done it. The local family, Joe and Kathleen Karcher, who own the local franchise, they're just remarkably generous people, and they really are very supportive of our work. They want to help people meet people's basic needs, and they see that that's what we're doing. Because that's what we do. We help people who are really struggling.
It might have been your visit that I first realized that Carl's Jr. was owned by a descendant of Carl Karcher, who was the original founder of the whole chain.
Yeah. I believe you're right.
Yeah, Joe Karcher, and he's the son of Carl. So one of several sons. So
very cool. So again, all day. No certificate. No
certificate. Nothing. Just show up, and the money is going to really help some people who are struggling. Right now, we've got a grandma and her 4-year-old grandson who are staying in a hut, sort of in the parking lot, if you will, near where we work, and because they're homeless, and the little boy is just as cute as he can be, but he's playing in the parking lot because that's his playground right now, because that's where they're staying, in this little hut that's not much bigger than something you'd keep your pet in. That's
what gets when it gets the kids.
Yeah,
that's because a lot of they had nothing to do with any of that. It's so sad.
But we're working with them. We're going to help that family get into housing and get to a better place.
If somebody is in their shoes, how can they come to you for help?
They can go to either of our community service centers. We've got one in Springfield at 10th and G, and another one in Eugene at 1464 West 6th. And they're multi-purpose centers where we provide a variety of programs and services. Anybody can just walk in there and say, hey, I need some help, and if we can't help them with what we're doing, we can connect them with another organization in the community that's trying to help.
How many people come in like a week? In a week's time?
Well, we do food distribution 3 days a week. We average 100 families every day. We do a food distribution, and that varies anywhere from 150 to 200 at the end of the month. So, say 500 people over the course of a week will come in for help. We serve close to 30,000 people a year between our two locations. Again, because we're unfortunately a high volume provider. A lot of people need food. A lot of people need help paying their energy bills, and those are the things that bring in a lot of folks.
It's got to be, at the end of the day, fairly fulfilling and satisfying that you're making a difference when somebody works on the radio and not doing much.
Yeah, well, we all have our role to play, and it's a great feeling. And the other great part about it is that it isn't just us. It's certainly not just me, and it's not even just our staff. There's this whole network of volunteers. We have more than 250 volunteers, and they put in more than 17,000 hours of service last year. So there's just this huge community effort of people who want to plug in, make a difference, and that's as much a part of our mission as helping people is engaging this wider community of people who want to make a difference and help them find ways to do that.
So in addition to going to the Carl's Jr. Gateway, going there and eating maybe 3 meals,
right?
Are you in need of more volunteer?
Yes, we welcome more volunteers, and so yes, you can reach out. We have a new program that we just started. We're getting some volunteers for that. It's there in Springfield. It's called the G Street Oasis, and it's for homeless families with children. They can come in during the day and kind of hang out and have someplace to be instead of in their car or their tent or wherever they might be staying. They can get a shower over at Willamette Lane Pool, which is right across the street. They can come to our place and do their laundry. They can hang out at the First Baptist Church. So that all these organizations are working together to create a kind of a multi-site, within walking distance day center for homeless families.
You have a website?
We do. ccslc.org. ccslc.org. This is for Catholic Community Services of Lane County.
Director of Tom Mulhern. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Again, the Carl's Jr. in Springfield out there, Gateway, all day today, 100% going to those good folks doing some good things here in the community. All right, little bit of cloudiness today, as in a lot, and highs not too warm today. Basically, you get through today, and tomorrow will be pretty much the same, maybe a little bit on the brighter side. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, talk with Fred from Radio Redux and Gary Conley, about a half hour, coming up right here on 1120 KPNW.
Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 100 plus